Hi Japanese Tea Travelers members, this is Yuki from Tealife, and today in this video we're going to do something a little bit new. We'll see how it goes, but I'd like to introduce the Japanese Tea Travelers members tea for February of 2026 in this video. So again, this is the first time I'm going to do something like this. I hope it's going to help, um, but we'll see how it goes. I'll try my best. But nonetheless, I'm extremely excited about this month's tea because what we'll be introducing in the program is the Sencha Umejirushi by Tealife, and this is a tea from Kyoto. And the reason why I'm so excited is because some of you may know, but this is genuinely one of my favorite teas. It really is. It's a fantastic, it's a really delicious tea. And I think the last time I introduced this into the program was maybe at least 6 months ago. So it's been a while. I thought it was a good time to reintroduce this tea into the program, have you have a try, and then also excited about doing a video about this. Okay, let's do a quick run through of the basics of this tea. So it's a sencha, so it's one of the most standard types of Japanese green teas out there. And since it's a sencha, it doesn't go through the shading process, unlike a matcha or a gyokuro. So it's just normal sunlight exposure. Since it's a green tea, there's no oxidation. And since it's a normal sencha instead of a fukamushi sencha, which is a deep steam sencha, it just goes through normal steaming process, which means that there's lots of good things going on in terms of preserving the antioxidants. So sencha is one of the most healthiest green types of tea in the world. This again is a uji tea, so it comes from Kyoto, and that's also important because uji tea is known for the quality of their tea as well. This tea itself is a first flush, so first flush is always the best tea, so that's important. And also, in terms of cultivar, it is a blend, so we can't really specify, which is the prominent blend. But again, it's a sencha that blends lots of different tea to create that balance. And the balance of this particular Sencha Umejirushi is, I think, fantastic. Now, what I want to do is I want to try to open this and try to show you the tea leaves. So I'll do that right now. I'm not sure if you can see through the camera, but the shape of the tea leaves are absolutely wonderful. The Tealife does a really good job at making it like a needle shape. And what I want you to do, if you're able to get this, is I want you to take a sniff of the dry leaves first. Because I think it's just so amazing. The smell of the dry sencha leaves is, I think it's the best thing in the world. It really is. So I hope you can give it a try. Now, how to make this, there's obviously no one correct way to do this. There's lots of different ways you can do it. What I like is I like to do 90 seconds at 70 degrees, which is a lower temperature and a longer infusion. But you can do the more standard 80 degrees Celsius and then 60 degrees as well. Either way, that's kind of your preference. All right, so this is the best part. Let's make the tea. And what you get in the Japanese Tea Travelers program is you'll get 8 grams of Sencha Umejirushi. So what you can do is you can take half of this, so 4 to 5 grams for 200 milliliters of water. I think that's good for me today. So I'm going to take half of the leaves, and then I have 80 degrees water in the kettle right now. I'll take that water, and I'll put that in this cup first. And the idea here is to measure 200 ml of water, and that's kind of basically to the brim of this particular cup. Then I'll transfer that water into the teapot where we infuse. And when I take the 80 degrees water, and then if I transfer it twice, basically the temperature is going to drop to around 70 degrees, which is just nice. I'll let it infuse for 90 seconds, and then I'll enjoy. So in this kettle we have 80 degrees water. I'm just going to pour this into the cup. And again, the brim is about 200 ml. So I'll pour it up to the brim. All right, so that's about 200 mils of water. And then carefully, I'm going to take this. It's a bit hot. I'm going to pour this into the teapot that we have here. Okay. And then this is kind of just, a rough estimate, but I'm going to take about half of this, the tea leaves, and dump it in. And then we'll time it for 90 seconds so I don't over infuse. 2, 1, okay, so that's about 90 seconds, so just nice. You can see that the tea leaves have opened, so we'll take this, and what we want to do is we want to pour. Okay. Now, the key thing about Japanese tea, I'm not sure if you can see this here. Put this in the front. The key thing about Japanese tea is when you pour, you want to make sure that you pour to the last drip. And the last drip is so important because the percentage of the nutrients that are left in the last bit of the tea is extremely high. And if you miss out on the last drip, you're going to leave a lot left. So see how I'm trying to kind of shake out the last, squeeze out the last amount of water into the cup. So you want to do that too. And after a while, you might want to give it a knock a little bit to shift the tea leaves inside, and then try to squeeze some more water out as well. So now once we have this, we have a nice cup of sencha here. It's a huge cup. It's a lot of sencha here. So in normal circumstances, you wouldn't really serve to the brim. So this is a little bit too much. But since I like Japanese green tea, I can drink a lot. So I have no problems with this. Yeah, this is really good. So you can really taste the really thick umami, and the astringency is really low, despite the fact that you're, infusing with a relatively high temperature. You can also really feel the sweetness of the tea, which is something I really like about sencha. I hope you're able to enjoy that part about the sencha as well. So that was a quick introduction to the Japanese tea travelers tea for February. Again, it's the Sencha Umejirushi. For the Sakura tea members, for the Sakura tier members, you'll also get the Kagabo Hojicha from Ishikawa, which is also a fantastic type of Hojicha. And I won't do a video on that, but in the future, I might do that as well. Thank you for listening, and let me know if you have any questions or comments.